Hello everyone, what's happening? This is Forgo, and today I want to try to have a more positive video about this update because I believe the characters, Venom and Gwenpool and Scream, they're really getting overshadowed by all this negativity. And we have a right to be negative about it. The update is trash as far as the cards, the reforging system is trash. And the boycott is still on as far as I'm concerned. You can see that my shield support is still intact, and it's only intact for another 7 days. And once this thing finishes, that's it. This was the last purchase that I made in the game, and I made that purchase before we knew about what was coming in this update. So that is it. The boycott is still on, but I want to try to focus on the more positive aspects of the game, although I will be mentioning something that's a little negative, couple negative things about Venom, but try to remain positive for the most part in this video. So in the event quest, this is a positive thing right here. In the event shop, they're offering these 4-star and 3-star tickets. I think this is amazing. This is wonderful. Netmarble should do more of this. So I really think out of all this, you really should be picking those things up. As far as Scream's bios, you could definitely pick them up here, but you can get it from the bio selectors from Shadowlands. So unless you got extra tokens, I really would just focus on these right here. Now let's talk about Venom. So Venom here, the question we're going to have to ask ourselves is the uniform worth buying? And does he need to be tier 3 to really shine? So let's go through my build and let's talk about the changes and where he lacks and where he succeeds. So my Venom has almost 17,000 physical attack. He has 127 attack speed, 32 crit rate, 185 critical damage, 49% ignore defense, close enough to max ignore defense, and max skill cooldown. He also has 58% ignore dodge, which is pretty awesome actually. He has no Urus, all level 20 gears. You guys know how I like to do it. I always test characters with no Urus, level 60, and they made his passive now where he has ignore target dodge rate by 45%. This is really great against characters like Quicksilver, and he is a combat type, so he will have the type advantage over Quicksilver. He has to decrease all damage received by 30%, make him a little bit tankier, but I don't really think it's enough, to be perfectly honest. We'll talk a little bit more about that. His 1 skill, stun, the 2 skill, he has a fear. It really would have been awesome if that fear would apply to World Boss, but it doesn't. He does have all defense down, and it stacks up to 20%. You got to be careful with the second skill. In fact, I'm probably not going to use it in the rotation, but you want to make sure you use the 4th skill first to apply the higher capped all defense down first, because if you apply the second skill first, you're only going to get the all defense down to 20%, whereas with the 4th skill, you'll get it up to 50%. So this is the one you really want to prioritize. If you do the second skill afterwards, it's all good, but just make sure you do the 4th skill first. The 3rd skill has immunity to all damage, which is great for 3 seconds. That's nice. Really helps with survivability. He's got a nice iframe here with a heal. However, the heal he gets from the blobs on the ground, which is kind of a bum deal. He does have a silence, so maybe in the AVX silence season, he could be relevant. I'm not really sure. And his 5th skill gives him an all attack by 25%, all speed by 5, crit rate buff by 25%, and this lasts for 10 seconds. So his crit rate's going to be better. He's going to have okay stats, not the best, but decent. And he gets 4 seconds of invincibility. And you'll find that the 5th skill, since it isn't an iframe, he stands in front of Proxima, like when you're facing her, or in front of a world boss. And if they got penetration attacks like Proxima, she can melt him. She can melt him pretty quick. And being when he's level 60, tier 2, he's just going to have lower HP stats, and he just won't be able to take as much damage. The 1 skill, he does have super armor. And this is really sweet. He also has chain hit damage by 10% when attacking. So having a CTP of energy on him actually would really be nice because it's synergized with this 4-star passive, giving him more chain hit damage. And it's just nice he gets the super armor because he does have immunity on the 3rd skill. And so he can get the heal. Every time he does the 4th skill and then blobs come out, all you got to do is run into one of those blobs and you'll get that super armor. So you won't get guard broken unless there's some kind of penetration attack coming after you, like the purple attacks from Proxima or the other world bosses. I'm not going to go into the tier 3. His leadership decreased debuff duration by 24%. So when we preview the skill, the rotation is pretty straightforward with Venom. It's actually pretty easy. All you want to do is hit the 4th skill. As soon as he lands, hit the 5th skill. When he lands, he gets the all defense down. If you cancel the 4th skill early, you can see the all defense down didn't apply. Well, let's do it again. Okay, so now you don't see no all defense down. We'll hit the 4 and then cancel into the 5. no all defense down. So you got to make sure you let the 4 land and then hit the 5th skill. The problem with it sometimes is the 4 does trigger the proc every once in a while. So I mean, for me, it seems like it's hit or miss. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But you do have 4 seconds of invincibility. So you'll hit the 4, slam down, hit the 5, let that 5 finish out, and you're still going to have invincibility right now. Then you would hit the 3rd skill. You want to let your invincibility kind of almost run out to where there's about a second left on your invincibility. Then hit your 3rd skill so you can put up your immunity. And he does have a partial iframe at the end, but during the 3rd skill, he's mainly just, he isn't in an iframe. And the 5th skill, he isn't in an iframe. So when he's facing against Proxima, he can really get destroyed. Yeah, here's the 2nd skill, which is pretty cool. You know, the blobs come in and attack and apply a little all defense down. And then the 1 skill. You're really just going to be focusing mainly on the 5, 4, and 3. Or you can do 4, cancel 5, and then wait a couple seconds, then hit the 3. And then wait a couple seconds, and then hit the 2. And then go back into the 4, 5. The tier 3. Is dope. And let me show you something that's really freaking cool. Let me show you something that's really freaking cool. So if you equip the anti-venom uniform, check this out. This is pretty wild. I thought this was pretty cool. We'll just run through the skills here. We'll just hit our 5, break out our tier 3. And this is just something for fun. Run her over here. And I really wish they would have kept the fifth skill heal from the anti-venom uni. I wish they would have put that on the new Venom uniform. Man, it'd make him so much better. But when we hit the tier 3, check this thing out. Look at that thing. The white T-Rex. I love Venom's tier 3. I think it's awesome. Very unique and unique only to him, which is great. As far as his ISO 8 set, he does have a stage 5 Power Angry Hulk set. And he does have a CTP of destruction. He doesn't need this. He gets super armor from his 4-star passive. It was just the only obelisk that I had. I wanted to throw some critical damage on him. And I just wanted a good damage proc to put that 180% damage proc on him. He doesn't need guard break immunity. So just giving him a critical damage with damage proc obelisk will be good enough, because he does get a crit rate buff from his 5th skill. And as far as the uniform and the uniform effect, he does apply to all allies, 30% chance when hit, 20% recovery of max HP. But it really isn't good enough. Maybe at tier 3 it would be. Now something that's a real, this is kind of a shady thing that Netmarble did, is for the uniform collection here, they freaking took away the damn crystals. So there's really not much incentive to level up these uniforms other than just making them stronger. And unfortunately, since we're going to be free to play and doing the boycott, some of you might not. I mean, however, I'm not going to be able to get Spider-Woman, which is actually a shame in itself, because, I mean, she's not going to get much love in this update. A lot of players are not going to spend money in this game right now. And that means that a lot of players won't be getting Spider-Woman. And I think this is a real shady thing that Netmarble did. I think, what's the big deal? 300 crystals. You guys, you keep increasing our crystal cost, but you don't want to give us more crystals per day. And then you take away crystals where they were available to us. You still would have had to put all those resources in these uniforms, level them up, but yet you still take away the crystals. I mean, Jesus, Netmarble. I mean, your greed just, it's insufferable. It's insufferable. So let's go into World Boss. I want to try to stay positive, guys. I want to try to stay positive. The first world boss we'll take on is Proxima. And we'll take old Gwenpool out of there, and we'll put Venom in there. And we'll just run with this team. I don't want to put Nick Fury on the team because he is a paywall character. And if you have to put Nick Fury on the team to do a stage 51, at least on my account, then that's not really showing the power of a character, in my opinion. There's nothing wrong with putting him on the team. It's just a lot of people don't have Nick Fury. And we're going to do this with no strikers, to see what his power level really is. Hopefully the damn proc doesn't trigger early, because if it does, it's kind of annoying and it really hurts his damage, because Venom does have good damage. We're going to get that attack buff from Beast right away. Alright, I'm going to switch to Venom. We're going to hit that 4, we're going to slam down, hit the 5. And okay, now we're gonna hit the third skill. 4. Oh, the proc triggered early, bastard. Okay, alright. And the proc triggered early again, bastard. So it's not a very good showing so far. We need to start our proc all over. There we go. And there you go. It's good damage. I mean, considering my build, it's good damage, but that damn 4 skill does trigger the proc. And what you could do is you could start with the 5th skill and go that route. If you start with the 5th skill and hopefully that proc will trigger early or trigger on that 5th skill, then whenever you circle back to your rotation, you'll get your all defense down in the 2nd rotation. But you can see the damage is looking pretty sweet right now. I hit my 3rd skill a little early, but I did that because I was afraid the 3rd skill was gonna trigger that proc. So the proc didn't trigger. We're gonna run around, we're gonna run around, we're gonna run around. Here we go, all right. And the 4th skill triggered the proc. And right now, Venom is, he's on pace to do this. But once again, the proc triggered on the 4th skill. So he is on pace, but barely. He's barely on pace to do this. He has 180% damage proc. And the proc triggered on the 4 again. So you might want to start with the 5th skill before doing the 4th skill. However, I've had runs where, oh my god, and he died. And that's kind of the thing about Venom. He can die really easy at tier 2. And that's, to answer the question as to, does he need to be tier 3? I think so. Honestly, I think Venom does need to be tier 3 because his heals just aren't good enough. You have to run around and pick up those heals from the 4th skill. He doesn't get a heal just by hitting his skills. It's not really good enough, to be honest, for the symbiote here. I don't think it's good enough. Now, at tier 3, it'd be a different story because he's going to have a larger HP pool. It's going to increase his survivability tremendously. Plus, he'll have his tier 3. So he's going to have a lot more survivability and be absolutely way stronger because he's going to have higher attack stats at tier 3. And that's the thing, are you going to take the character to tier 3? Is he worth taking to tier 3? I honestly don't know. I can tell you that I've already seen people with a tier 2 Venom with CTPs of energy. They're doing stage 65, stage 70 Proxima. But it's not like it's an easy clear, it's not. He dies super easy, he has real survivability issues at tier 2. So let's take on Corvus. And we'll just try stage 60. Now the thing about Corvus is Venom will take a damage reduction. He's going to do 50% less damage to Corvus because he is a combat type. Only speed types don't have to deal with that. And the good thing about Venom is he does have about 60% ignore dodge on him. We're going to use the exact same team. And by the way, I'm using Shuri, which gives him 35% decreased damage received from supervillains. Plus he's getting 20% decreased damage received from his passive. So he's got decreased damage received, but he just lacks a lot of survivability. Now we're going to use 2 damage to supervillains, and we're going to use 1 ignore dodge striker, so that way we have about 80% ignore dodge, which is enough. Then we got a debuff to try to help with the poison and the bleed here. Let's do it. Alright, and really I should be just doing stage 50 to be perfectly honest, but I want to show you guys stage 60. Okay, so we're going to get that buff. There we go. And you can see the damage is, and he just canceled my 3rd skill. The damage is good though. I mean, this is stage 60. This is not bad. This is not bad. Come on. And this run here is actually looking a lot better than that run we just had against Proxima. Now Venom, his movement speed is decent, but it's not great. It's decent, but it could be better, but it's not too bad. Come on now, let's go. And he does pretty good, but I'm telling you, if he gets bled, He is dead. And he just, Corvus just canceled our 5th skill. We didn't get the invincibility. There we go. And that's kind of a thing, man. If your skill gets canceled, oh my God. You are dead meat, seriously. Because if it gets canceled, you won't have your invincibility. And Venom just can't take it, not at tier 2. At tier 3, I imagine that would be a totally different story. And once again, our 5th skill got canceled. We didn't get the immunity, or the invincibility. There we go. Okay, come on. Alright, alright. I mean, he's on pace right now to do this stage. For sure. Oh, come on. Oh, God, he's gonna die. He's gonna die. Oh, God, oh, God. And he died. Yeah. The flames have penetration. And, yeah, he just couldn't take it. He just can't take much damage. And whenever characters are like this, I just don't want to play with them. And Venom is one of my favorites. Now, I'll probably end up taking Venom to tier 3. I probably will. Just because of love for the character and curiosity. I love his tier 3. But I don't know if I think the uniform's really worth buying unless you do take him to tier 3. It's a good uniform. It's a massive upgrade. If you want the most out of Venom, it's definitely worth buying. However, with the current state in the game and the way things are right now, and if you're boycotting, but you do have some crystals lying around, wait till Black Friday. Just wait till Black Friday before you buy this thing if you plan on doing it. And by the way, guys, all the crystals that I have, I will be spending them, but I won't be buying anything. The boycott is real. The boycott is on. I will not make any purchases in this game until Netmarble addresses the problems. So it's kind of sad to say, but the Venom just doesn't have the greatest survivability at tier 2. At tier 3, I think it'd be a totally different story. But he has terrific damage. It is a great upgrade, but I really think if you're going to buy this thing, unless you're in absolute hurry or an absolute fan, you want it now, just wait till Black Friday before you decide to buy it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.